for educating us. If you want more information, you can check out social media and habitsofwaste.org. It'll be pretty eye-opening.
Still more to come this midday, including another look at your cold forecast.
And ahead at noon, some schools hit with an unprecedented drop in enrollment. How Chicago's open campus schools fare. Plus, the new payment method Tesla says it will soon accept.
At 5, controlling coyotes during the cold winter months.
They will do anything they can for real.
Find out how you can help Coyote Man tonight on WGN Evening News at 5.
I'm Erin. And I'm Margo. We've always done things our own way, charted our own paths. I wasn't going to just back down from moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Psoriatic arthritis wasn't going to change who I am. When I learned that my joint pain could mean permanent joint damage, I asked about Emerald. Emerald helps relieve joint pain and helps stop permanent joint damage. Plus, Emerald helps skin get clearer in psoriatic arthritis. Ask your doctor about Emerald so you can get back to your true self. Emerald may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Emerald if you have an infection like the flu. Visit Emerald.com to see how your joint damage could reverse. Emerald. Eligible patients may pay as little as $5 per month.
At Grandview, we understand how overwhelmingly stressful selling your house can be. And for some sellers, they can't even get to the first step because they're so overwhelmed. At Grandview, we give them a path to sell their home in a fast and easy way. We give them respect and dignity, and we give them a fair price that helps them move from a home they no longer want to another place. Call the name you know and the name you trust. Grandview Homes.
WGN Streaming is sponsored by Advocate Aurora. Visit us online for the latest information and to check symptoms. Wednesday, 51 women.
Every life matters.
Their murders mostly unsolved.
This should really be a state of emergency.
Their stories completely untold until now.
She danced to the beat of everything.
The project to finally give Chicago's female murder victims the attention they deserve. Wednesday on WGN News at 9.
Welcome back. We have a new Facebook post to share with you today as part of our effort this month to learn more about our viewers and people in your life who you want to thank for helping you through the pandemic.
And we so appreciate everyone who submitted here. Here's a post from April T. about these kinder care workers at Prairie Stone Hoffman Estate. She says, thank you to these women who have been an extension of our family for opening their doors and supporting parents who are essential workers during the pandemic, for taking on the task of e-learning and caring about our children's socio-emotional well-being. Because of this crew, we don't have to stress, and our children are smiling and giggling their worries away.
Everybody needs to find the joy, right? And these folks making it so much easier for the children who just need to see what's in front of them today.
And that's been so challenging for teachers. So look for us to share your post next week on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. If you want to participate, head to the WGN Facebook page to submit a photo of the person you want to acknowledge and a brief description of why you want to say thank you.
Don't miss Ashley Home Store's President's Day weekend sale. Friday through Monday only. Save up to 25% off store-wide. Plus 0% interest for 12 months. Or get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. 4 days only at Ashley Home Store.
Get new floors you'll love with Luna's $99 sale. Buy one room, get carpet, hardwood, or laminate for all other rooms for only $99. So, buy one room, get carpet in the bedroom, plus laminate in the kitchen, and even hardwood in the living room, all for $99. That's new floors for the whole house. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for only $99. Don't miss Luna's $99 sale. 773-202 Luna.
If you're at home right now and you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention to this next segment as we discuss neuropathy.
What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs primarily.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms we see are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, problems with your balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
If you're experiencing burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or having balance issues, call today for your nerve Acrylic.com, you can get a free quote, buy your new car insurance, and save hundreds.
For 4 days only at Ashley Home Store's President's Day weekend sale. Save up to 30% off on doorbusters like this sofa, now only $3.99. Plus get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. Friday through Monday only at Ashley Home Store.
Tuesday, a postmarked nightmare.
I lose right around $1 million.
Mail delivery delays costing people big. WGN investigates Tuesday at 9.
And it's going to be cold outside all week. We don't expect temperatures to warm up even close to freezing at all in the upcoming 7-day forecast. Yesterday's high temperature was only 5 degrees. Today, at least, we're a little bit warmer than that. Taking a look outside now, what we're finding is at this hour, we find lots of ice there along Lake Michigan. Staring down from Northwestern University, you could barely make out downtown. That's because snow has moved back into the area. So far, we've seen just about 2.2 inches for Kankakee. That is around the high number. The problem is, with road surface temperatures well below freezing, any snow that we see is going to stick very quickly. As a matter of fact, temperatures are so cold in some areas that rock salt might not even be able to work. So you will be talking about the potential for some snow-covered travel over the next few hours, certainly over today, as there's more snow spilling in from the west. Here's how it looks on the computer model. By 2:30, the snow moves back into downtown Chicago. We're expecting to see the snow continue through the afternoon and then finally let up this evening. Not much though, not a heavy hit, as our computer model only shows around 1 inch of light fluffy snow. Today's high temperature, not very high at all. It's 14 degrees. Tonight we see the low temperature drop down to about 4. Tomorrow's high temperature climbs to 16. Then into Wednesday we're up to 21. We're back with more right after this.
Just when you thought things were getting back to normal. Bam! You're in a car wreck. Now what? Call Lerner Road. We'll take you from wreck to check as quickly as possible.
Lerner Road, I'm a lawyer for you. Call 222-2222.
At Drive Time, you can save money on your down payment. $1,000 on average.
Nice.
And we'll show you your real down payment.
How real?
As real as this puppy.
He is real. And I love him.
Go to DriveTime.com, get approved to see your real down payment in 2 minutes.
For legs that feel like new again, visit United Vein Centers. If you're suffering from painful varicose veins, if your legs ache, swell, or feel heavy, you could be suffering from vein disease. At United Vein Centers, we treat vein disease with medical lasers that offer little to no downtime. The treatment is covered by Medicare and most health insurance. For healthy legs that make you feel like new, call 1-800-NEW-LEGS to schedule your free vein screening at one of our locations or visit us at UnitedVeinCenters.com.
Tile Outlet wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to the first responders, medics, officers, medical staff caring for patients, and the grocery store and restaurant staffs continuing to serve. We're all in this together.
Heard the record thing. You can't afford a lawyer? Think again. At Lerner Road, the call is free, the consultation is free, and the advice is free. If you've got a phone, you've got Lerner Road.
Call 222-2222. Now and like talcum powder cancer cases.
Today at GM Sports, we recap the Super Bowl winners and losers, and the Bulls start a big week of home games. Join us tonight at 10:30 at GM Sports.
A shot at beating COVID-19. Everything you need to know about the vaccine and why you should get it. Vaccinating Illinois. A WGN News special Thursday at 7. This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News.
Bitter cold temperatures are here to stay for a while, and more snow is on the way. Good afternoon, I'm Dina Baird.
We're seeing very cold numbers across the area. We are expecting to see temperatures which are going to be way colder than normal for the entire week stretch. For the entire 7-day forecast, we don't even come close to the mid-20s. Yeah, and a typical high temp this time of the year would be in the low 30s. Not there either. Let's take a look at how things were for us early this morning. We saw a low temperature that fell down to 1 degree. Look up north. How about the loop? Minus 23. Their low temperature in Bismarck up to minus or down to minus 26. Right now we've lost downtown there on the weather bug camera there staring from Northwestern University. That's because we're seeing some snow. It's relatively light. Across the area, some of the high numbers are right around 2 to 3 inches for Kankakee. In the Chatsworth, we've seen around 2 inches also. But there's more snow coming in from the west. Portions of eastern Iowa, western Illinois already seeing that snow. That is a disturbance that rides into our area over the next few hours. So the snow just kind of lets up to flurries, I think, until about 2 p.m. Then it's going to be back, as right now we're finding that snow just kind of isolated downtown. Here's a computer model forecast. It does show that we will be looking at snow, light snow, falling across the area during our afternoon commute. The issue is road temperatures are well below freezing. Everything that falls is going to stick. If it's an untreated roadway, it's going to be covered with snow in just a moment's time. So keep that in mind. Things can get quite slick this afternoon. Not expecting a heavy hit of snow, only around 1 inch to maybe 2 inches. It'll be the light, fluffy variety there. And that is good news. Not anything heavy coming our way, but again, it does all stick. 12 degrees right now, your temperature at O'Hare. Winds calm at this time. Elsewhere, we have a temperature of 12 downtown, 10 for Lansing, 10 also Kankakee. These are your current winds. Winds out of the east, generally southeast at this time, but relatively light breeze that we're dealing with. Still, though, the wind chill is down to 10 degrees in Lansing, 10 degrees also Kankakee, and into Aurora, -3. All right, satellite radar composite. Now, we find that one disturbance is coming in from the west. There's going to be a series of disturbances that will ride into our area this upcoming week. What they will bring is a chance for snow. Not tomorrow, we're dry Tuesday, but then into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a chance for snow showers. Got a high temperature that's going to reach this afternoon into the teens, about 14 or 15 degrees. Tonight's low temperature falls down significantly once again. Coming up in the 7-day forecast, we're going to talk about temps, which actually, how about this, and I'm for some reason surprised about this, climb into the 20s for 2 days in a row. I'll have that warm-up coming your way in just a bit. Back to you in the studio.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, Demetrius. Well, we're continuing to follow the life and legacy of Karen Lewis this morning. She was once one of the most powerful advocates for public education in Chicago.
Sean Lewis is here with more reaction to her passing. Sean?
Yeah, Chicago Teachers Union now weighing in on Karen Lewis's death, saying in part, Karen taught us how to fight and she taught us how to love. Now, Karen Lewis was a science teacher, chemistry teacher for 22 years in CPS before winning her post as CTU president in 2010. She became a firebrand for public education, making headlines not only here in Chicago, but across the country. Hers became a household name, revered by some, reviled by others. Karen Lewis was a well-liked science teacher who then led a successful bid against the incumbent caucus of the Chicago Teachers Union and established her contentious brand.
Thank everyone who made this a reality.
Bold and brash, she went up against then Mayor Richard Daley's Renaissance 2010 plan to open 100 new schools. A privatization plan she said was about business, not education.
We also want to make sure we invest in our neighborhood schools, not to the detriment of other schools. So people are coming here saying, my neighborhood too.
2 years later, after going toe-to-toe with new Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, she led Chicago public teachers on a week-long strike, emerging, many would argue, victorious in their efforts to stem the privatization of public schools and defending teacher pay and benefits.
He's a liar.
Her name and political clout so recognized in the city that hers was a leading name to run against Mayor Rahm Emanuel in his 2015 re-election bid. But even before her campaign could begin, she withdrew, citing her health. Just weeks later, in October 2014, we learned of her diagnosis of brain cancer. And though Lewis's tenure as CTU president was marked by an unprecedented number of school closing, teacher layoffs, and a rocky relationship with CPS brass, she left behind a strong union, as some would say in the CTU, the house that Karen built.
I've told people I'm a school teacher. I'm used to having a plan, so I'm gonna stick to my timeline and see how things go.
Now, the CTU sending out this statement just moments ago, saying in part of their former leader, she spoke 3 languages, loved her opera and her show tunes, and dazzled you with her smile, yet she could stare down the most powerful enemies of public education and defend our institution with a force rarely seen in organized labor. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot this morning saying this: Amy and I are saddened to learn of Karen Lewis's passing. Our deepest condolences go out to her family, loved ones, friends, and CTU family during this extremely difficult time. And Stephanie Gadlin, a friend and her former spokesperson with CTU, said this: she was one of the most powerful and prolific voices in public education, advocating for students, their families, and the communities in which they live. For her tenure as president of the Chicago Teachers Union, she was the architect of today's fight for education justice. And I'm being told by Stephanie just moments ago during this interview that we did with her that she continued to be kind of a guider of sorts for the current CTU leadership.
Couldn't let go of that leadership, right? I mean, she knows how to guide the ship.
She was never known as the former CTU president. She was always president emeritus.
That's right. Sean, thanks so much. Well, the union Karen Lewis put so much time and effort into is still trying to settle the dispute over reopening schools safely during the pandemic.
City Hall says there's a back-to-work agreement for Chicago school teachers, but the CTU says not so fast. Glenn Marshall explains what's next.
That tentative agreement between CPS and CTU could go into effect as soon as CTU takes a vote on the plan. In the meantime, the mayor says that CPS students could start to come back to school in person as soon as Thursday. A week after in-person learning was set to begin, finding out that a tentative agreement between CPS and Chicago's teacher union may be on the horizon. That agreement looks like this. In-person learning would start February 11th for pre-K and cluster program staff and students. Then kindergarten through 5th grade staff would return on February 22nd. Those students would start in person on March 1st. 6th through 8th grade staff would return on March 1st, and those students would return back to in-person learning on March 8th. Also, the proposal will allow teachers or staff members to request special accommodations if a member of the household is medically compromised, and vaccines will be offered to teachers and staff members before returning to the classroom. Responding to the plan, Chicago Teachers Union took to Twitter last night to say, quote, "We do not have an agreement with the Chicago Public Schools. The mayor and her team made an offer to our members late last night, which merits further review. We will continue with our democratic process of rank and file review throughout the day before any agreement is reached," end quote. In the meantime, CTU plans to have a meeting with its members at 2 p.m. and then after that, you could expect to hear from a vote from their House of Delegates. The Marshall, WGN News. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Glenn. Got details after the Chicago Police Department releases a progress report on court-enforced reform. That's just ahead.
And Senate leaders close in on a deal that will shape the impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump.
Going to jail again, we being shot, my best friend ended up getting killed.
He's experienced firsthand what gangs can do. Now this mentor is helping young people by getting them in the boxing ring. Chicago's very own is ahead after 12:30.
Need a ladder, man.
Tonight, he was a founding